Hello and welcome to today's reading for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine and the current union energy between the two for twin flames. And if you're not familiar with the concept of twin flames, I have plenty of other videos about that. So it's really your divine complement. And so we're looking at the feminine energy here and the masculine energy, and then the union energy for the collective today, and you can see how this resonates for you. And also, Mercury has just moved into Cancer, so Cancer is a sign that is known for domesticity, the home, so there's something around healing some deep emotional aspect of your home. Perhaps it's even the material things in it or something along those lines, and perhaps this reading will give us more insight. And that's really, that's about it. There's a lot more I could say about the sign of Cancer and Mercury. Mercury is the sign of communication, and amongst other things, and changeability. So something to keep in mind too, or the planet, not the sign. But let's get started. So the Divine Feminine card is over here, and the Oracle cards are the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey Demarco. So what I have for the Divine Feminine is the Armadillo, and it says groundedness. So I think that this groundedness for the Divine Feminine might feel a little bit intense, like that, some powerful energy going on there into grounding and self-discipline and being willing to stand up for herself. And you can see how big the armadillo is between these two pretty big guys. And this, in this instance, to me represents the power of the Divine Feminine here. So it's not to be mistaken for the masculine. It's just, she can dominate too, right? So, if you're the Divine Feminine watching that, embrace that about yourself and embrace how this is true about you. Of course, everyone has their very own unique qualities unto themselves, and then also in between you and your twin flame as one consciousness, you're very unique. But there's somewhere in you that you can go deeper and further with embracing your power now because of the work you've done to ground and not be afraid of this this perhaps intense way of directing, directing and leading in your reality too. So it's going to help ground you even more and ground your union and ground your Divine Masculine. And it's the number 7, which is really the number that I associate with heaven. And so it's about bringing heaven to earth, and sometimes you have to provide, again, discipline to get there, and self-discipline to, discipline is just, it's not separate from love. And I know that some, in a part of some dictionary definitions, it includes the word punishment or something like that, but it's not that, right? It's like taking on the correctedness and allowing yourself to be humbled, even if that means the divine is working through you to humble yourself and to redirect yourself so that you can be in line with divine order. So it actually feels good. It's just the uncomfortable thing leaving that doesn't feel good, as long as you surrender and allow it to leave. So, and the uncomfortable thing meaning ego or the illusion, right? And so in doing this for yourself, you're allowed, I guess you could say that, you're also able to really do this for others as well, whether that be your children, your pets, other adults in your life, including your twin flame and yourself. And so yeah, it's okay to do that. Of course, I mentioned children and pets because they tend to need the most discipline, is why I mentioned that. So that feels pretty complete. And let's move on to the Divine Masculine's card. And his card is the Watcher Snow Leopard. So this reminds me of a couple of songs. Is that like Michael Jackson song? Like, I always feel like somebody's watching me and I have no privacy. Yeah, and then also that Sting song too. Like every breath you take and every move you make, I'll be watching you, something like that. So yeah, it's interesting because I think of the cat family as being more feminine oriented. But this card is for the Divine Masculine, and there's also a lot of masculine energy going on here as well. Just to me, it really represents like there's a new level of safety in your union. And I'm watching my cat. She's like walking around more as I'm talking about the cat family. It's funny. So yeah, I had to take a break to work with my cat in some discipline. So anyway, that takes me again to the energy going on between the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, and in this deepening of trust and union, there is some more action being taken in this kind of a way where you're both able to redirect each other. And when you do that, it's really good because you're actually really redirecting that energy back to harmonizing your union and to raising your consciousness together. And so your Divine Masculine's watching out for you, whether he's with you or not. He's watching you, and he's watching the feminine moves that you make too, just your unique way of expressing yourself, and he's loving that. He's really into it, and he also wants to help you and just support you in being your full self. And so the energy here is also one of setting kind of a strict tone, but also like keeping an eye on you, desiring to protect you more deeply as well. And yeah, that feels pretty complete to me. So let's move on to the middle card. And the middle card is the Bison Ritual. So it's number 35. My grandmother always said, you only have half a brain until you're 35. And I'm 35. So I guess I have a whole brain now. Anyway, yeah, the Ritual Bison card really speaks to the grounding, and then also this kind of discipline and keeping your union safe. And one way to do that is to set more of a ritual, which could mean like a schedule, going deeper with the little things that you do to take care of yourself or to honor the divine in you and in other people and other things. So ritual sometimes has, a connotation that's not positive. And so, this isn't about like doing rituals to get something. What you're just gonna get by loving yourself is more love. So the ritual is always at the core about going deeper with love. And that, of course, can look lots of different ways. A ritual could just be something as simple as ensuring that you brush your teeth every night, right? But it's about grounding into this in a bigger way too. Like for me, I realized I needed to make more time recently in my schedule to fully give myself time to take care of certain things in my reality that I wasn't really allotting time for so much. I was kind of like, okay, I'll do that if I have time, but not actually carving out the time and setting it aside. And as soon as I did that, I saw a positive shift in a few ways in my reality that they were, like in my physical reality, things that were positive changes and an inflow of abundance as well. So sometimes you might think that you have to just like keep going and going and going, but this ritual card and the grounding and the discipline isn't about discipline to keep you going and going and going necessarily. It's about how to truly love yourself and love this life in a way that's sustainable, and to create the reality that's gonna give you the most. It's just gonna give to you and your union the most. And when you're giving to yourself and really loving your own space, of course this goes back to Mercury and Cancer with the home, and also honoring how you feel about this in your heart too, then you're really just giving that to your whole union, and you're magnetizing your twin flame to you in deeper ways, no matter where your twin flame is. If they're sharing the home with you, then you're always going into deeper harmony. Hopefully, if you're practicing the mirror exercise and loving yourself in the places where you're upset, so that you can do that. Of course, it doesn't necessarily always look like harmony on the outside, but when that happens, just remember it's just disharmony leaving, so that there's a deepening of harmony. And this can also be a slow moving thing, right? Like sometimes, and I don't mean slow like even take your time, but sometimes like if you have a big elephant foot, in order to move, there's gonna be more energy and more force to move it. And bisons are pretty big, fluffy, furry animals, and there's just something there about making bigger strides right now, and that requires a different kind of energy than sometimes the littler things, which are also a part of the bigger stride. But it's something to keep in mind. So that is the reading for the current energy, and the overall feeling that I get from this is really just deepening into that flow and that peace by taking those strides, but finding like relaxation in that, and grounding with any kind of discipline, and allowing the divine masculine and the divine feminine to lead both in harmony. So you both are taking leadership in your union in really complementary ways right now. So just look at how that is playing out for you. And it feels really good to feel that supported. It's kind of like when you're on opposite ends of a rope and you're leaning back all the way because the other person is going to keep doing that too. So it's like you're both supporting your union even more, so you can lean back even further into your union and relax. So that feels really good. And that will complete the reading. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend if that's when you're watching this. And check out the links below for readings and other info. And definitely subscribe to my channel if you want to see more readings that I do almost every day, along with other twin flame and spiritual information and topics and stuff. So take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye.